Good evening, Professor. Today I am delivering assignment 4 as part of my course on ethical leadership, focusing on the topic of whistleblowing and leadership. So, for this assignment, I have chosen to examine whistleblowing practices and their connection to leadership across three countries: the United Kingdom, Greece, and Singapore. Each of these nations has a distinct legal frameworks, high profile incidents, and influential leaders that offer valuable insights into how whistleblowing is handled and its impact on ethical governance. So, in the first section, I'll identify and describe two major whistleblowing protection laws from each of the country, that is a total of six, and I will outline when these laws were passed, the sectors they cover, such as government, commercial, or healthcare, and their enforcement mechanisms. So, additionally, I will assess their effectiveness in protecting the whistleblowers and promoting transparency. In the second section, I will discuss a major whistleblowing incident from each country, detailing the issues involved, how the whistleblower was treated, and whether the unethical activities were properly addressed or remediated. So, next I will profile one prominent business or political leader from each country. I will explain why I chose them and evaluate their leadership characteristics, including their vision, integrity, accountability, and ethical guidance. This section will also explore whether they challenge authority, demand responsibility, and demonstrate ethical leadership. Finally, based on the laws, incidents, and leadership profiles, I will reflect on whether whistleblowing itself is a form of leadership. I will discuss how the two concepts overlap, highlighting their shared traits of courage, integrity, and accountability, while also addressing their differences in roles and impact. Through this assignment, I aim to demonstrate that while whistleblowing is often viewed as an act of defiance, it can also be a powerful form of ethical leadership, one that challenges corruption and drives organizational accountability. So, let me talk about the characteristics of my first country, which is the United Kingdom. So, this is video 1A, and I'll be talking about whistleblower protection laws in the UK. So, like the laws in the UK play a crucial role in safeguarding individuals who expose misconduct in workplaces. Whistleblowers are essential in identifying and preventing fraud, corruption, and unethical practices. However, without legal protection, they may face retaliation, including termination, harassment, and reputational damage, according to Transparency International 2023. The UK has two key laws that provide protection for whistleblowers: the Public Interest Disclosure Act (PIDA) of 1998 and the Employment Rights Act (ERA) of 1996. The Public Interest Disclosure Act, passed in 1998, was introduced to protect employees from retaliation when reporting a wrongdoing. So, this law covers government institutions, private businesses, and healthcare sectors. It ensures that employees who disclose misconduct in good faith cannot be dismissed, demoted, or subjected to adverse treatment. The law encourages whistleblowers to report issues internally first and, if necessary, escalate them to regulators or, in extreme cases, to the media, according to CIPD 2023. So, enforcement of the PIDA is carried out through the employment tribunal system, where affected individuals can seek a compensation or a reinstatement if they suffer retaliatory actions. However, despite these provisions, many whistleblowers continue to experience significant professional and financial consequences, which are like raising concerns about the law's effectiveness in practice, according to Transparency International 2023. Then comes the Employment Rights Act of 1996, also which includes the whistleblower protection provisions, ensuring that employees cannot be dismissed for disclosing unlawful or unethical activities. Similar to PIDA, it allows whistleblowers to file a legal complaint if they experience a retaliation. So the cases under this law are also handled by employment tribunals, according to CIPD 2023, while both laws provide a framework for protecting whistleblowers. Their effectiveness remains a subject of debate. Many individuals still encounter career setbacks and psychological distress despite these legal protections. This highlights the need for the stronger enforcement mechanisms and better support systems for whistleblowers who act in the public interest. So that's about the laws in the UK, and we are moving on to video part 2A, which talks about a major whistleblowing incident in the UK. So it was a significant whistleblowing incident, which illustrates both the importance of ethical leadership and the challenges faced by those who expose wrongdoing. So Dr. Raj Mattu, a cardiologist at Walsgrave Hospital in Coventry, brought attention to a serious patient safety concern in 2001. He revealed that the hospital management had implemented overcrowding practices to reduce costs, leading to unsafe conditions for patients. His allegations highlighted instances where patients died as a direct result of these cost-cutting measures, according to The Guardian 2016. Rather than being recognized for raising legitimate concerns, Dr. Mattu faced severe retaliation. In 2002, he was suspended from his position, and the hospital engaged in a prolonged effort to discredit him. He endured a 13-year legal battle, suffered significant financial hardship, and experienced emotional distress as a result of his disclosures. This was according to Daily Mail 2016. Ultimately, in 2016, Dr. Mattu won his case, receiving compensation for unfair treatment. However, by this point, his career had irrevocably damaged. Despite the legal victory, the broader systemic issues within the healthcare system were not fully addressed, and no senior officials were held accountable, according to Daily Mail 2016. So this case highlights a critical weakness in whistleblower protection laws. While a legal framework exists, whistleblowers often bear the burden of defending themselves against powerful institutions. So the failure to adequately protect individuals like Dr. Mattu discourages future whistleblowers from coming forward, which may allow unethical practices to persist. So to foster ethical leadership, organization must go beyond compliance with the law and actively support individuals who act in the public interest. Without such a commitment, whistleblowers will continue to face undue hardship for exposing the wrongdoings of which happens around them. So let's go on to video part 3A, talking about a leadership profile about Sir Richard Branson. So he was an influential leader, and he was an entrepreneurial vision. So he was the founder of Virgin Group. His leadership philosophy exemplifies innovation, ethical responsibility, and a commitment to empowering others. So, Sir Richard Branson was selected for this discussion because of his transformative leadership style. Then he has successfully challenged established industries, including the aviation, telecommunications, and space exploration, all while maintaining a reputation for ethical business practices and employee-centric leadership, according to Dearlove, 2007. To evaluate Branson's leadership, we consider key characteristics that define an ethical leader. First one is his vision. Branson is known for his bold and forward thinking approach. He does not merely seek financial success but aims to disrupt industries by prioritizing customer experience and social responsibility. His ventures such as Virgin Atlantic and Virgin Galactic reflect his ambition to create a more innovative and inclusive future, according to Branson 2017. Integrity and ethical guidance, which Branson has consistently emphasized fair business practices. He has been a strong advocate for sustainability initiatives such as reducing carbon emissions in aviation. His leadership reinforces the principle that business success should align with ethical responsibility. And according to Branson 2017, leading by example, Branson maintains a hands-on leadership approach. He engages directly with employees, fosters a culture of transparency, and prioritizes employee well-being. His beliefs in employee first, customer second reflects his understanding that a motivated workforce drives long-term success, which is according to Dearlove 2007. Encouraging others and setting clear goals was one of his strengths, and Branson empowered his team by fostering a risk-taking and innovation-driven environment. He encourages creativity within his organization, allowing employees to explore new ideas without fear of failure. Accountability and responsibility was one of his other strengths. So, a key aspect of Branson's leadership is his willingness to take responsibility for failures. During times of financial difficulty, rather than imposing job cuts, he personally invested in saving Virgin Atlantic. This demonstrates his commitment to ethical business practices and protecting employees' livelihoods, according to Branson 2017. Then he challenged the authority. He never hesitated to challenge monopolistic structures. His entry into the airline industry with Virgin Atlantic was met with resistance from major competitors, but he persevered, advocating for fair competition and consumer choice, according to Dearlove 2007. Internal locus of control. Branson exhibited a high self-determination. Rather than attributing success to external factors, he believes in taking control of outcomes through innovation and persistence. His ability to recover from business setbacks demonstrate his resilience as a leader, according to Branson 2017, and his Machiavellian traits is commendable. He was strategic and competitive. He does not engage in a manipulative or unethical tactics. His leadership was based on collaboration, vision, and a long-term commitment to ethical growth, according to Dearlove 2007. In conclusion, Richard Branson exemplifies a leadership model that balances commercial success with ethical responsibility. His approach underscores the importance of employee empowerment, corporate integrity, and continuous innovation. As future leaders, we can learn from Branson's ability to integrate visionary leadership with ethical decision making. ensuring that businesses not only thrive but also contribute positively to the society. So my second country is about Greece. So I'm going on to my video part 1b. So I'll be talking about the whistleblower protection laws in Greece, and so it's an like it is essential in combating corruption and unethical practices. Historically, Greece has struggled with high levels of corruption, making whistleblower protection a critical issue. However, whistleblowers often face retaliation, legal consequences, and even threats to their safety, highlighting the need for robust legal safeguards, according to Transparency International 2022. So, the two key laws that protect whistleblowers in Greece are Law 4254 bar 214 and Law 4990 by bar 2022. Law 4254 by 214, passed in 2014, was one of the first attempts to offer legal protection to whistleblowers in cases of financial and corruption related crimes. It primarily applies to government and public sector employees who report corruption, bribery, or other financial misconduct. The law grants whistleblowers immunity from prosecution and ensures that they cannot be dismissed or demoted for exposing wrongdoing, according to OECD 2018, page 45. However, enforcement of this law has been weak, and many whistleblowers still face professional and personal repercussions. So the lack of an independent reporting mechanism has discouraged many from speaking out, as they fear retaliation from powerful entities, according to the European Commission 2021, page 23. To address these shortcomings, Law 4990 by 2022 was introduced to align Greece with the EU Whistleblower Protection Directive. So this law provides broader protection by covering both public and private sectors, and applies to corporate fraud, environmental violations, and human rights abuses. It also establishes independent reporting channels and introduces penalties for those who retaliate against whistleblowers, according to the Whistleblowing International Network 2022. So, while this law is a step in the right direction, its effectiveness is still uncertain. Many experts argue that the whistleblowers still lack sufficient support, and concerns remain about how well enforcement agencies will protect them in practice, which is according to Council of Europe 2023, page 12. For whistleblower laws to truly work, Greece must strengthen enforcement mechanisms, provide better anonymity options, and ensure whistleblowers are not left to defend themselves alone. Only then can ethical reporting become a viable tool in the fight against corruption. So that's about the two important laws in Greece. Moving on to video part 2b, which talks about a major whistleblowing incident in Greece, which is called the Novartis scandal. So what happened in Greece was, this is a pharmaceutical scandal. So this case highlights the importance of whistleblowers in exposing unethical business practices. The Novartis case involved allegations that the Swiss pharmaceutical giant engaged in bribery and corruption to promote its products in Greece. So the company allegedly bribed doctors, politicians, and healthcare officials to secure favorable pricing and government contracts, leading to inflated cost in Greek healthcare system, according to Transparency International 2022. So in 2016, whistleblowers within Novartis came forward, providing evidence of widespread corruption. So their testimonies led to large scale investigation by Greek and the US authorities. The scandal implicated high ranking Greek politicians, making it one of the most politically sensitive case in recent history, according to Whistleblowing International Network 2022. So, however, the whistleblowers faced intense retaliation. Their identities were exposed, and some were threatened and harassed. The investigation itself became politically charged, with some politicians accusing the whistleblowers whistleblowers of fabricating claims for political motives. So this was according to Council of Europe 2023, page 18. In the end, Novartis admitted to bribery and agreed to pay over $347 million in fine to settle the charges in the US. While the company faced consequences, many of the implied Greek officials denied the wrongdoing, and only a few individuals were held accountable, which was according to Daily Mail 2016. So this case demonstrates the risk whistleblowers face, especially in politically sensitive cases. Despite legal protections, the fear of retaliation and legal challenges remains a major obstacle for those who wish to expose corruption. To truly encourage ethical leadership and accountability, Greece must create a culture where whistleblowers are valued rather than punished, ensuring that corporate and political wrongdoing does not go unchecked. So that's the end of video part 2b. Let's move on to video part 3b, where we are talking about a leader from the Greek background. His name is Kyriakos Mitsotakis. So he is a Greek leader, as I already said, the current Prime Minister of Greece. He was chosen because he has played a crucial role in Greece's economic recovery and political stability, leading major reforms while facing significant ethical and political challenges. So let's evaluate his leadership based on the key characteristics of ethical leadership. His vision: Mitsotakis has focused on modernizing Greece, implementing economic and digital reforms to attract foreign investment and reduce bureaucracy. His leadership aims to transform Greece into a more competitive and transparent economy, according to European Commission 2021, page 34. Integrity and ethical guidance. His government has emphasized anti-corruption policies, but it has also faced criticism over issues such as press freedom and surveillance scandals. While he advocates for ethical governance, these controversies raise concerns about his administration's transparency, according to Council of Europe 2023. Leading by example, Mitsotakis presents himself as a modern pro-European leader who prioritizes technological advancements and economic reforms. However, critics argue that that his approach to governance has been too centralized, with concerns over media control and judicial independence, which is according to Transparency International 2022. So he encourages others to set clear goals for them. His administration has worked to strengthen Greece's position with the EU, negotiating pandemic recovery funds and investment programs. He encouraged economic growth through privatization and innovation, but some policies have sparked public protests, according to Whistleblowing International Network 2022. Accountability and his responsibility for economic challenges was commendable. His government faced criticism for his handling of natural disasters and wiretapping allegations. So these issues have tested his commitment to ethical leadership and government accountability, according to Daily Mail 2016, about the challenging authority. Unlike some of his predecessors, he has challenged traditional political structures by promoting a more business friendly and digital first approach. However, his centralized decision making style has sometimes been seen as lacking transparency. His focus of control demonstrates high self determination, taking proactive measures to reform Greece's economic and political landscape. His policies reflect a strong belief in individual responsibility and market driven progress. The His Machiavellian traits, he does not fit the classic definition of a Machiavellian leader. Some critics argue that his handling of political opposition and media freedom reflects a strategic and calculated leadership style aimed at consolidating power. In conclusion, Kyriakos Mitsotakis is a leader who embodies both progressive reforms and political controversy. While he has successfully positioned Greece as a stronger economic player within the EU, his leadership also raises important ethical questions about transparency, press freedom, and centralized governance. His tenure demonstrates the complex balance between modern leadership and ethical responsibility, a challenge that all leaders must navigate in today's global landscape. Of video 3B part. Uh, Going to the next country, Singapore. Video part 3A. So we are talking about whistleblower protection laws in Singapore. And as we know, Singapore is a country known for strong governance and low corruption levels. While Singapore has a reputation for transparency, whistleblower protection remains a critical issue, especially in the sectors like finance, government, and corporate governance. So, the two key laws that offer some level of protection to whistleblowers in Singapore are number one, the Prevention of Corruption Act (PCA), passed in 1960, and number two, the Protected Disclosures Act, which is called the Whistleblower Protection Bill, passed in 2023. The Prevention of Corruption Act (PCA) is Singapore's primary anti-corruption law and has been placed in since 1960. So it covers public and private sectors dealing with bribery and corruption related offences. Section 36 of the PCA states that individuals reporting corruption cases to the Corrupt Practices Investigations Bureau, that is the CPIB, are protected from having their identity disclosed in court, according to Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau. However, this law does not provide immunity from retaliation, meaning whistleblowers may still face workplace discrimination or legal consequences. To address these gaps, Singapore passed the Protected Disclosures Act in 2023, which aligns with global whistleblower protection standards. So this law provides anonymity protections for whistleblowers, legal immunity from retaliation, dismissal or discrimination, stronger reporting mechanisms in both the public and private sectors, according to Ministry of Law Singapore 2023. The Protected Disclosures Act is seen as a major step forward, ensuring that whistleblowers feel safer when exposing unethical practices. However, its real impact will depend on enforcement, as cultural and institutional challenges may still discourage individuals from speaking out. To truly foster an ethical culture, Singapore must continue strengthening whistleblower protections, ensuring that reporting wrongdoing is not just a legal right but a safe and encouraged practice. Um so let's move on to the video 3 part 3b, which talks about a major whistleblowing incident in Singapore. So it's called the Keppel Offshore and Marine scandal. It's one of the biggest corporate whistleblowing cases in Singapore. And so this case especially exposed high level corruption, showing the importance of ethical leadership and whistleblower protections. So the Keppel Offshore and Marine, one of the Singapore's largest oil and gas companies, was accused of paying $55 million in bribes to Brazilian officials between 2001 and 2014 to secure contracts. So these illegal payments were part of a global corruption network linked to the Brazil's Operation Car Wash scandal. According to U.S. Department of Justice 2017, the scandal came to light when the whistleblowers within the company provided evidence of corrupt transactions to authorities. Their reports led to a multinational investigation involving Singapore, the United States, and the Brazil. In 2017, Keppel agreed to pay $422 million in fines as part of the settlement with these governments. Despite this, the whistleblowers faced significant challenges. While they played a key role in exposing corruption, there were no strong legal protections at the time to prevent retaliation or professional consequences. So this case led to greater awareness of corporate ethics in Singapore, prompting the government to enhance whistleblower protections through the Protected Disclosures Act in 2023. However, concerns remain about whether employees will feel safe reporting unethical behavior in powerful companies. The Keppel case shows that whistleblowers are essential in exposing corruption, but they must also be protected and encouraged to ensure that corporate misconduct does not go unchecked. And that's the incident in that happened in Singapore. And we can move on to video part 3C, where we talk about the leadership profile, and we have chosen Lee Hsien Loong. So he's a Singaporean leader, and he is the Prime Minister of Singapore, and he has been instrumental in shaping modern Singapore, balancing economic growth, political stability, and ethical governance. So let's analyze his leadership based on the ethical leadership principles, like his vision and so on. So according to Lee Hsien Loong, he had a clear vision for Singapore, focusing on economic resilience, technological innovation, and social stability. Under his leadership, Singapore has become a global financial and technological hub, while maintaining a low corruption and high governance standards, according to Singapore government. So the integrity and ethical guidance. His government is known for zero tolerance for corruption, with strict laws and enforcement. However, Singapore's strict political systems and limited media freedoms have raised questions about transparency and accountability in certain areas. So, according to Leading by Example, Lee Hsien Loong maintains a disciplined, pragmatic leadership style, setting high ethical standards for public officials. His leadership has ensured that Singapore remains one of the least corrupt countries in the world, according to Transparency International 2023. So, encouraging others and setting clear goals. He he has promoted policies that support education, economic development, and digital transformation, encouraging innovation and progress. His leadership has helped Singapore remain competitive in a rapidly changing global landscape. In terms of accountability and responsibility, his administration is known for strict governance and accountability. However, some critics argue that Singapore's controlled political environment limits public debate and opposition voices. His the challenging authority, unlike more radical leaders, Lee Hsien Loong does not openly challenge authority but instead works within structured governance frameworks to implement reforms. His leadership prioritizes stability over confrontation. His internal locus of control would be to exhibit strong self discipline and control, making decisions based on long term strategic planning rather than short term populism. His leadership reflects a deep belief in data driven policy making and structured governance. Talking about Machiavellian traits, while he is not openly Machiavellian, his leadership reflects a calculated and strategic approach, ensuring political dominance while maintaining a stable and prosperous Singapore. So, his control over political disclosure and media regulation reflects a strong desire to maintain order and stability. In conclusion, Lee Hsien Loong is a leader who embodies both pragmatic governance and political control. While he has successfully maintained economic strength and ethical governance, concerns about media freedom and political opposition remain key ethical questions. His leadership demonstrates the fine balance between stability, governance, and ethical responsibility, a challenge for many modern leaders. So that's about video part 3C. Let's move on to the next part. So moving on to video part 4. So we'll be talking about whistleblowing as a form of leadership, its similarities and differences. So whistleblowing is a topic that often goes unnoticed in leadership discussions, but it's incredibly significant. It is frequently viewed as a reactive action, but whistleblowing can be also form of a leadership. In fact, whistleblowing shares many qualities with effective leadership, such as courage, ethical decision making, and a commitment to organizational integrity, according to Misley 2008. So it here we explore how whistleblowing and leadership intersect and how both contribute to creating ethical organizations. Uh, Basically, we will be talking about whistleblowing as a leadership activity. Uh, it is important to talk about whistleblowing. Leadership is typically a proactive role within an organization. Leaders are expected to set the vision, guide their teams, drive change, and build trust. Leadership involves navigating challenges, making difficult decisions, and striving to achieve the greater good for the organization and its stakeholders. Whistleblowing, on the other hand, is often perceived as a response to unethical behavior that has already occurred. So, a whistleblower is someone who exposes fraud, misconduct, or unethical actions within an organization. So, it is generally seen as a reactive measure, one that takes place when wrongdoing needs to be revealed, according to Neer and Misley 2016. However, Whistleblowing requires many of the same qualities that define effective leadership. Whistleblowers, like leaders, must be courageous. Coming forward with information about misconduct can be intimidating. It often demands standing up to powerful individuals or systems that might retaliate. The courage to take that stand, even at the risk of personal harm or career repercussions, is a quality shared by both leaders and whistleblowers, according to Brown 2016. Then we will talk about the role of ethical decision making. At the core of both leadership and whistleblowing is ethical decision making. So leaders are expected to act in the best interest of their organizations and stakeholders. Uh, and whistleblowers strive to uphold similar ethical standards. Both must navigate complex situations where doing the right thing may not be the easiest or most popular choice, according to Trevino 2014. For leaders, this may involve making decisions that align with the organization's value and mission, even if those choices are not immediately profitable or popular. For whistleblowers, it means speaking out when unethical behavior is witnessed, despite the potential for backlash. So whistleblowers frequently face tremendous pressure to stay silent or confirm, just as leaders do when making difficult or unpopular decisions. Both roles require individuals to trust their moral compass and act according to their principles, even when facing significant risks. Moving on to the moving on to challenging the status quo. Leadership is fundamentally about challenging the status quo and inspiring change. Effective leaders are not content with simply maintaining existing conditions. They push boundaries, introduce new ideas, and challenge outdated practices to foster progress, according to Coulter 2012. Whistleblowing reflects a similar mindset. By exposing unethical behavior that threatens the integrity of an organization, whistleblowers directly challenge the systems and practices that enable misconduct. In both the cases, initiating change is not easy, and it frequently disrupts entrenched structures. Nevertheless, it is this willingness to confront injustice that drives progress and ensures that organizations remain ethical and transparent, which is the main cause. So, whistleblowers, in their own right, become agents of change, just as leaders do. Then we have to talk about the risk and consequences. Leadership often involves risks. Leaders take on difficult challenges, make tough decisions, and place their reputations on the line to do what is right. Similarly, whistleblowers face significant risks. They might experience retaliation, career setbacks, or even legal challenges, according to Devine 2015. The decision to expose misconduct is never easy, and frequently it leads to personal and professional consequences. Despite the risks, both leaders and whistleblowers are driven by a sense of greater purpose. Leaders take risks to improve their organizations, while whistleblowers accept risks to ensure that organizational integrity is preserved, according to Alford 2001. Now we will be talking about the difference between leadership and whistleblowing. While there are many similarities between leadership and whistleblowing, key differences exist. Leadership is typically a proactive, continuous role within the organization, whereas whistleblowing is reactive. Leaders work from within to guide and inspire their teams, while whistleblowers often expose wrongdoing from the outside, emphasizing the need for change after ethical violations have occurred. As per Neer and Misili 2016, leadership is about vision, growth, and guiding others towards a common goal. Whistleblowing, by contrast, is primarily about accountability, ensuring that ethical standards are enforced when they are violated. Despite these differences, both whistleblowing and leadership are essential for organizational health. One one drives progress and improvement, while the other safeguards integrity by ensuring that standards are upheld. According to Miseli 2008, while whistleblowers as leaders, interestingly, some whistleblowers emerge as leaders in their own right by exposing corruption or unethical practices. They set an example for others to follow. Their actions can inspire a culture of transparency, responsibility, and ethical behavior within the organization. So, in this sense, whistleblowers become leaders by demonstrating moral courage. Through their bravery, they frequently spark movements, creating awareness and encouraging others to take a stand. Their willingness to change unethical practices fosters a workplace culture where ethics and accountability are prioritized, according to Brown 2016. Now, so in conclusion, while whistleblowing and leadership are not always identical, they share key characteristics. Both require courage, ethical decision making, and a commitment to integrity. Whistleblowers, like leaders, take risks and stand up for what is right, often at great personal cost. Ultimately, both whistleblowing and leadership play vital role in maintaining accountability and ensuring that organizations adhere to their values, whether through proactive guidance or reactive exposure of misconduct. Both contribute to fostering ethical and transparent organizational cultures. Uh, so that was the end of part video 4. uh, to conclude the whole video, whistleblowing and leadership share key qualities such as courage, integrity, and commitment to accountability, both challenging the status quo and promote ethical practices, often at personal or professional risk. Although leadership is typically proactive and ongoing, while whistleblowing is reactive, whistleblowers often display moral leadership by exposing wrongdoing and inspiring change. Together, they play a vital role in fostering transparent and ethical organizational cultures. I am thank you for giving me the opportunity and wishing you a nice day ahead.